Marco, welcome to the show. It's a huge pleasure to have you. Let's start with the name everyone is talking about. When did Marco become Baby Lasagna? And where did that name come from?
So I was a songwriter for other bands in Germany and just all over the world. And at some point I wanted to make music just for myself, not for other people. And Elisabetta, my wife, told me, just do it, don't yep about it. So I did it, and I needed a name. And one day we were walking on the seaside in Novigrad, and Baby Lasagna just popped into my head, and it sounded funny. I asked her, what do you think of it? She was like, yeah, it's funny, we should use it. And that's it, basically. It's just a funny twist, because every rapper now calls him Baby this or Baby that, and I was like, I need something random, and Baby Lasagna sounded pretty random, so that's the story.
Your musical journey didn't start with Rimtim Tagidim. Can you tell us about your background? What was your musical education, and how did you first get into writing and performing music?
Yeah, my father was a musician. He still is a musician, so ever since I was a kid, I got a guitar on my 9th birthday, and ever since then I started to do music. But in the high school I took it more seriously, and I joined a big band from Croatia, from Umag. Well, they're big now, they weren't big before. Rock band Mantra, and I fell in love with touring, and I wanted to be a musician, and basically that's the story of how I wanted to become a musician. I didn't have a formal education, like I didn't go to school, music school or anything. My father taught me music, and it was easier for us. We are the young kids with internet, so you can just find videos how to play System of a Down or whatever, or I don't know, this or that band. And yeah, we just learned in that way, so that's like the whole story.
Let's talk about Eurovision. Can you describe that experience from your perspective?
Yeah, it was surreal, because before this I was never a fan of Eurovision. I mean, I watched the finals every now and then, and I loved Lordi, Maneskin, Karja. That was all so cool for me, but I never got really into it like a proper fan. So it is random that a guy like me, who is not big on Eurovision, ended up where he is now, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, it was a funny thing. I wanted to go on Dora because my friends told me, hey, you should put Rimtim Tagidim on Dora, and I was like, yeah, okay, why not? And then we tried it, and everything just kind of blew up from there. A big explosion of attention and support from fans. So I ended up there. I don't know, to be honest, the experience was pretty boring being there. It was a lot of waiting, so you just wait in the green room until you do rehearsal, and that's basically what you do for 12 hours a day. So that experience being on Eurovision was kind of boring, but every time I stepped on the stage of Eurovision, that's something out of this world, because the crowd is very specific in Eurovision, and they're really, really loud and know everything about you and every word of your song and everything, and it's out of this world. It's something special.
Do you now see yourself as an international artist? Is Eurovision the most important step of your career so far, or just the beginning?
Well, I think I always wanted to use Eurovision in a sense to make a career afterwards, and I think I'm doing it in a way, and that's why I'm so grateful for my Eurovision journey. But I would say that I'm more of an international act than I'm Croatian act, since I don't know, I'm here in Istanbul today in Turkey, and I'm from Croatia, so yeah, I would say it's international, and we had a lot of European concerts. So yeah, and that's the most fun part, when you're a guy from small town, really small town, like 3,000 people, small town from Croatia, and now we are doing a show in Istanbul. It's just crazy, it's funny, and yeah.
This channel is all about the vocal education.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe your own voice? Do you know your vocal type or vocal range?
Oh, I don't know anything about my vocals, so I'm so bad at singing, and I'm just trying to be better at singing. I'm currently looking for a vocal teacher because I live in a small town, and there's only small towns around me, so I'm really having a hard time to finding anyone that can teach me how to properly sing, how to properly breathe, because we're doing tours like 22 dates in a row singing, and it's just, I think I need to prepare myself for that, and it's Yeah, and I also want to learn how to growl, so that's what I've been doing lately, like going ooh and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to do now.
Your performance style is high energy, and you use a lot of distortion and grit.
Yeah.
How do you protect your voice? What's your advice for young singers who want to use distortion safely?
Oh, but I'm such a bad singer. I'm not the one who should be giving out advice. Somebody should give me advice. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But what I usually do is proper vocal warm-up before every show. So about 10 to 20 minutes I do stuff like that. I'm also learning the techniques of breathing. And for the distortion, I don't know, it comes kind of naturally to me, so I don't really think about it too much. But there are some days and some concerts where when I'm overdoing it and I can hear my voice like hurting, my throat is hurting, which is not a good sign, I think. But yeah, mostly I think I find a way. And after the show, I usually drink tea, not too hot tea, not too cold, so that's just for soothing my voice, and that's it basically. But I'm the last person who should give you advice about singing. I'm terrible at singing. I'm just a goofy guy with a microphone on stage. I'm not a singer.
You released your debut album back on February 7th.
Yes.
What can you tell us about the process of making this album? What are your personal favorite tracks from it?
Yeah, well, as I said, I've been writing music for other bands, and with one band we even got #1 in Germany, like the most selling album in Germany. And that was the time when I started to write for Baby Lasagna. So Baby Lasagna didn't have a vision, didn't have anything, so it was just, I want to make a pop song, then I want to make a dance song, then I want to make metal song, and it was just having fun and learning new things as I go. It was never supposed to be big, it was never supposed to have a concert or a band or anything. So that's why the album is so chaotic. You can hear from And I, which is like totally radio friendly song, and then Instagram Boy or Rimtim Tagidim, which is totally different from anything else. So it's just chaos basically, and that's why now I finished writing the second album, and it has like direction. It's not all over the place as this one is, but it's an album that it's close to my heart because I learned a lot about writing when I was doing it, and I think it has some cool songs. So
when you write a song, what comes first, the melody, the riff, or the lyrics?
Well, always the lyrics are the last thing that I do, like 100% of the time, because I don't usually like writing lyrics. I'm more of a melody kind of a guy, so I start with a riff or with a melody. Sometimes the riff is the melody. But yeah, I have a bunch of like voice memos on my phone where you can hear ideas of songs of mine. For example, there's a voice memo singing from 2022. So yeah, that's how sometimes I'll be walking in the city and start to record voice memos, and then I go to studio and try to play around with it. So yeah, maybe the melody is the first one.
When you're on stage, what's the single most important thing to you?
So it's the most important thing, and it even becomes a burden. I really want for everybody to have fun. I hate when I'm looking in the crowd and I see people who are not having fun, and that's like, then I even start to go crazier just to make them laugh or anything. So it's really a burden at times, but I need to learn how to just relax, because sometimes you go to a concert and the crowd is just standing there, and other times, but they're having fun. It's just that they're not used to expressing their emotions on the concert, like going crazy. So yeah, that's the most important thing for me, for people to have fun, and I need to put on a show that's worth their while and their money. So they took their time and they paid for a ticket to come to the show, and that's the most that I can ask for.
This is your first concert in Turkey. What did you know about our country or our music scene before coming? Have you ever heard of Turkish rock acts like Şebnem Ferah, Manga, or Pentagram?
I heard of Pentagram, but I heard of a lot of your shows. For example, there's a lot of your shows in Croatia. For example, I remember we all watched Ezel. I don't know what's the we say it like that. So there's a lot of shows. Of course, we know the culture that influenced later Balkans, like coffee. It's really like the Turkish coffee is the coffee that we drink. For example, baklava, your sweets, I don't know, kebab is, and there's a lot of Turkish people where I live, so merhaba, and I know some words. Yeah, I know the Turkey is so rich in history, so it's not like some other countries. So you had a really influential empire here, so I think it's rich in culture and it's something to gaze upon.
Turkish fans were actually hoping to see you in other cities too, like Izmir and Ankara. Do you have plans to come back to Turkey soon, either for more shows or maybe just for a vacation?
Yeah, there's a lot of people writing to me in my DMs, come to Ankara, come to Ankara. So a lot of people have been asking not just to do Istanbul, but I wasn't sure, like, is there gonna be like 3 people, 5 people, I don't know how many people are gonna be here. I didn't ask how many tickets we sold because I don't want to stress myself if it's too little, but I think it's gonna be okay. But I don't know, if this show goes well, I think we're gonna be back. Why not? Because I mean, it's so nice here and the city is so freaking loud and so energetic. There's chaos everywhere and everybody's just like talking and a lot of crazy smells. It's so lively and it's so, I mean, I now live in a small village with like 300 people or whatever, so me coming here is just it's like I'm on the Mars or something.
Looking at where you are now, what are your next big goals?
Well, to be honest with you, I never dream of, I don't know, playing Super Bowl or winning a Grammy. I'm not in that kind of stuff, but I want to grow. I want to make people who work with me make this their livelihood so that we can all just live from music. I want to challenge my listeners and challenge firstly myself as a songwriter. So I don't know, just create. I love creating, and the only goal is to make it bigger so that we can just do that for a living, and that's the only goal. Just go around the world, play festivals, meet people, and do this kind of shows in Istanbul or the other city, Ankara. Yeah.
You have done countless interviews this year, probably answering the same things many times. We are curious, is there a question you are surprised no one has ever asked you? Or on that note, is there a hidden talent or a surprising fact about yourself that you've never shared in an interview before?
I don't know, I think people have been asking a lot of questions, but there's not like the first one that comes to mind that, oh, they didn't ask this or this. But when it comes to the hidden talents, I don't know, maybe I don't have any other talents. I'm just, I don't know, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to you later about it if I can remember.
It's a little game.
Yeah.
Chaos on stage or peace in the studio?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I usually like studio more, but when it's good and chaotic on stage, it's chaotic on stage is better.
Metal roots or electro beats?
Oh, metal.
Stay in Croatia or chase the world?
Oh, chase the world. Like, not even a question.
Okay. Nemo or JJ?
I don't know, I would probably say Nemo just because I know the songs better from them, so yeah, Nemo, and it's amazing the like versatility from rap to opera to, it's just crazy.
Rammstein or Måneskin?
Oh, Rammstein, easy.
Nirvana or Metallica?
Oh, Metallica.
Gorillaz or Daft Punk?
Gorillaz probably.
Tarja Turunen or Floor Jansen?
Turner.
Rintim Tagidem. Genius plan or cosmic joke gone right?
Just a joke gone right, I think. Yeah, it's not a cosmic plan, I don't know. But that's a good question. Good way of putting it.
Loren or Karya?
Oh, Karya. Karya, my baby.
Leaving mantra or never becoming baby lasagna?
Well, I never imagined becoming baby lasagna, so leaving mantra was the choice anyway, so probably leaving mantra.
Performing in front of 50 people or 50,000?
50,000. That's what I want to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dum 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 dum.